I blink, and immediately I know something has shifted. The room I'm in, the one I've inhabited every day without thought, feels wrong, not in a dangerous way exactly, but in a way that prickles at the edges of my mind, like a faint electrical current crawling along my nerves. The walls seem sharper, more vivid, as if someone has tuned the contrast of the world just for me. Light refracts in angles I don't remember being possible. Shadows move with intent, curling and uncurling as if they possess consciousness. I reach for my phone, my hand trembling slightly, expecting the familiar glow of the screen, the reassuring hum of notifications. But it's blank. Then, slowly, words begin to appear, glowing faintly, like a message etched directly into the air of my mind. If you're seeing this, you've just entered a higher quantum reality. Don't scroll. My breath catches. I stare at the words, unsure if I've somehow hallucinated them, or if some glitch in time has opened a door I didn't even know existed. I try to rationalize. Maybe I fell asleep in an awkward position. Maybe someone put something in my coffee this morning. But no, my mind, usually skeptical, cannot find a rational anchor here. The first real sign that I've crossed over is subtle. My reflection in the window doesn't mimic my movements perfectly. I raise my hand, and my reflection hesitates, just a fraction of a second behind. My pulse quickens, a warning that I cannot ignore. The world outside the window is stranger still. People move along the street in strange loops, their gestures repeating, overlapping, as though they are echoes of themselves rather than living beings. A vibration hums beneath my feet, almost imperceptible, yet undeniably there. It's not the rumble of a passing train or the distant thrum of traffic. It's something deeper, something ancient and alive. I feel it in my bones like a call, and for a moment I hesitate, frozen, afraid that any action might shatter the fragile veil that separates me from the ordinary world I once knew. Then, a whisper, soft, intimate, impossible to locate, enters my mind. This reality reveals truths hidden to those bound by time and fear. One choice awaits: observe or interfere. I sit down, trying to calm my racing thoughts. Observe or interfere. The words pulse in my mind like a heartbeat, syncopated with the vibration beneath my feet. Observe what? Interfere how? The universe itself seems to have paused, holding its breath, waiting for my decision. Minutes or hours pass. Time behaves differently here. A clock on the wall spins backward, then forward, then freezes entirely. I realize that the familiar rules no longer apply. Linear time is a construct, a relic of a simpler reality. Here, everything exists simultaneously, layered like translucent sheets of possibility. Every choice I have ever made, every memory I hold, every fear I carry, overlaps and intertwines with countless versions of myself I have yet to meet. I stand, compelled to explore. The room stretches in impossible directions. Corners bend at angles that defy Euclidean geometry. Light and shadow blend seamlessly, forming patterns that seem to whisper secrets I almost, but not quite, understand. I notice for the first time that I am not alone. Figures drift at the edges of my vision, humanoid yet strange, their forms shimmering as though made of liquid light. When I look directly at them, they vanish, leaving only the faint echo of their presence. A door materializes before me. It is unremarkable, made of plain wood, yet I sense it does not belong here. It hums softly, a vibration that resonates with the pulse in my chest. I approach it cautiously, and as I touch the handle, a wave of memory floods me. Memories not just mine, but fragments of lives I have never lived. I see faces I have never met, hear voices I have never heard, yet all of them carry the same message: awaken, Do not fear. Choose. I pull back, overwhelmed. The choice. I realize now that entering this higher quantum reality is not accidental. Something, somewhere, has deemed me ready. But ready for what? The door seems to sense my hesitation. It pulses brighter now, and I hear another whisper, more insistent. You cannot remain in the in-between. Step forward or retreat. But know this, once you step forward, there is no return. I step back from the door and turn toward the room. The walls have changed again, revealing a labyrinth of shifting patterns, fractals that stretch infinitely in every direction. Each pattern seems alive, vibrating with a rhythm that matches the hum beneath my feet. I realize that these patterns are not random. They are maps, pathways through this reality, each leading to a different possibility, a different version of myself. A sudden motion catches my eye. A figure stands at the far end of the room. At first, I think it is another person, but the figure shifts, folding in on itself, then expanding, as though it is both everywhere and nowhere. Its eyes meet mine, and in them, I see everything I am and everything I could become. A thrill runs through me, equal parts fear and exhilaration. I understand instinctively that this figure is not an enemy. It is a guide, a witness, and perhaps a test. Why am I here? I whisper, unsure if I expect an answer. The figure does not speak, yet I hear a response in my mind, clear and resonant. You are here because you were ready, because your awareness has reached the threshold, because you can carry the weight of knowing beyond the veil. I shiver. The weight of knowing, I feel it pressing down, a pressure on my mind, a mix of terror and awe. The reality around me continues to shift, and I realize that nothing is stable. Not the walls, not the light, not even myself. Every atom of this space vibrates with consciousness, as if the universe itself is aware of my presence. I take a cautious step forward. The floor ripples beneath me like water, yet it holds my weight. With each step, I notice subtle changes, patterns in the air, symbols etched into light, whispers that brush against the edge of my understanding. I try to speak, to ask questions, but words feel inadequate here. Language is too rigid, too linear. The answers exist beyond sound, beyond meaning. I pause in front of a shimmering wall that seems to stretch into infinity. As I gaze into it, I see glimpses of possibilities. My life if I had chosen differently, moments I had forgotten, futures I might create. Each vision is vivid, complete, and painfully real. I feel a pang of longing for the simplicity of my old reality, yet I know I cannot return. This place has called me, and it will not release me until I understand its purpose. A surge of energy flows through me. I realize that my thoughts are no longer just my own. They ripple outward, influencing the room, bending the patterns, shifting the pathways. I am not merely observing this reality. I am part of its creation, and with that realization comes both exhilaration and fear. Every intention, every choice, carries consequences I cannot yet see. The figure appears again, closer this time, and I notice that it mirrors my movements perfectly. It smiles, or at least I think it smiles. Its form dissolves into light, scattering across the room, leaving trails that linger in the air like sparks of memory. I understand that it is showing me something. The interconnectedness of all things, the infinite web of choices and consequences that stretches across this quantum reality. I feel a pull toward the first door again. It is no longer threatening. It hums with promise, vibrating in harmony with my heartbeat. I place my hand on the handle, and a flood of emotion overwhelms me: curiosity, fear, hope, and an unshakable sense that stepping through will change everything. The whispers return, louder now, more urgent. Observe, interfere, awaken, evolve. I close my eyes, taking a deep breath. My mind races, but I let it flow, surrendering to the unknown. When I open my eyes again, the door seems to shimmer, almost beckoning me forward. And yet, even as I prepare to step through, I know this is only the beginning. The reality I have entered is vast, infinite, and alive. Every choice I make from this point forward will echo across dimensions I cannot yet comprehend. I stand at the threshold, heart pounding, and feel the universe itself watching, waiting, guiding. And in that moment, I realize something profound. I am not merely a traveler in this reality. I am its witness, its participant, its potential. I am awake,